Hey friends, welcome back to Sewing from Scratch. I am Kate and this is where I teach you everything I know about sewing and we learn more together along the way. Change of scenery yet again. We are in my camper for the last time. It is going to somebody else, or back to its original home I should say. So today from my camper I am going to share with you the Canadian garment sewing pattern companies that I have rounded up. Before we get started, I did just want to mention that if you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button if my content is interesting to you so you don't miss out on future videos. So this list is made up from a few different sources, from my own personal experience, from a website called The Finished Garment. I also posted a question on the Sew Canadian Facebook group to see if there was any pattern companies I was missing. So with that all being said, let's get into the companies. Oh, one more quick thing. A lot of companies in the sewing world, or in general, offer you a bonus or a discount or a free pattern or something when you sign up to their newsletter. So I will just say, check that out. When you go to these websites, everything will be linked down below in the description box. We're gonna start on the West Coast and we will go to the East Coast and see what we can find for pattern companies. So let's start in British Columbia with Sewaholic. This is a classic style designed patterns, and they cater to women up to a 47-inch hip. And you can get their patterns in PDF and in hard copy print format. Next up is Thread Theory. This is also PDF and print format. They are mostly men's actually, and they go up to a 49-inch hip in the men's patterns, and then they do have a couple women's patterns as well. Next we have in-house PDF patterns, and they go up to a 45.5-inch hip, and they actually have cup sizes A through D. So 4 different cup sizes, and they go up to a 44.5-inch hip. Next in BC is Helen's Closet. You guys know I like Helen's Closet. Helen drafts for up to a 58-inch hip, and her style is really loose-fitting, casual type of clothing, and they're women's patterns. Now we also have Very Shannon in BC, and I hesitated whether or not to put this in, but she does have garment patterns. She has 2 kids patterns. They go up to size 8 in girls. It's 2 dresses, and other than that, on her website you will find lots of knitting information, so if you're into that, check out Very Shannon. Petite Plus is another PDF and print pattern shop, and they actually also offer classes, sewing classes. Now Petite Plus, as you might have guessed, is for petite plus sized women, specifically in the range of size 12 to 24 petite. And lastly in BC we have DG Patterns, and these are really fun designs. I really like what they have going on there, and they go up to a women's 52-inch hip. There was a sale on when I was prepping for this video, so make sure you check that out. Alright, moving into the prairies of Alberta, we have Goober P Designs. These are kids patterns, PDF patterns, as you might have guessed from the name. Alberta is also home to Socialite Patterns, and these used to be maternity only patterns, I believe, or maybe that was like her market demographic, but now she caters to all different types of women, offering maternity and non-maternity clothing. And her sizes go up to a 4X. Unfortunately, I don't know what that means because I couldn't find an actual hip measurement anywhere on her site. Next we have McPhee Workshop. Now they boast on their website that they are founded by one of Canada's foremost sewing celebrities. I haven't heard of her before. I don't know, maybe I'm just not that in the loop of that kind of world. I didn't find their website to be that great, but they do have a full shop, so like notions and fabrics and things like that as well. And their patterns go up to a 52-inch hip. And the McPhee Workshop patterns are only paper. Next up is a new pattern shop, fairly new. You might have heard me talk about when I made my Ivy pinafore, and that is Sheer Stitchery. She also has a YouTube channel, so you might be familiar with Catherine Harris from YouTube. And she has a few patterns that range from doll sizing all the way up to a woman's size with a 55-inch hip. Now I also found a website or a company with Trudy Jansen, and this did have a lot of patterns and different designs. However, there was no way to buy them. So there was pricing and all that kind of information, but you couldn't like click on a link or anything like that, so unfortunately I can't help you if you want to buy those. Okay, and there's also Stay and Stitch. Now I don't know if they are home to Alberta. I could not find where they are from. If you know, leave me a comment down below. I just kind of put them in Alberta because that's where it ended up on my spreadsheet. But they have PDF patterns for girls and women, and they also had a sale on right now, and their patterns go up to 61-inch hip. I think that might be the largest size of this entire list. Okay, continuing on through the prairies, we come to my home province of Saskatchewan. There's only one pattern company in this province that I know of, and that is Apple Tree Sewing. And they are known for their Grow With Me sewing patterns. You've probably heard them or seen them around. I've mentioned them quite a few times, sewn up quite a few of their patterns. And she actually has a sale on right now too, and their sizing goes up to a 12-year-old, which I believe is a 31-inch hip. And venturing into Manitoba, there is also only one sewing pattern company that I am aware of, and that is Sophiona Designs. They offer PDF patterns for women and kids up to a 46-inch hip. And they also have a sewing school, so that's kind of interesting. And before we start in with the Ontario patterns, I did just want to mention that I have a link down in my description box if you want to buy me a coffee. Now, if you know me, I don't drink coffee at all. I can't even stand the smell of it. Sorry if that's offensive to any of you, but this is a different kind of coffee, and what it is it's a way for you to give back to Sewing From Scratch. So if I have ever helped you with something, or you just enjoy my content, you can donate or support me monetarily through coffee. And all the money goes right back into the channel for materials, as well as things like filming equipment and editing software, everything it takes to run a YouTube channel. So if you are looking for a way to give back, I will leave that link down below. And for those of you who do and are able to contribute, I really do appreciate it. It just helps me bring more great content your way. Thanks. Now, let's get to Ontario. There's quite a list. Victory Patterns is the first one I'm going to mention. Their website is just stunning. They offer PDF and print patterns up to a woman's 60-inch hip. Next is Heidi and Finn PDF Patterns, and this is a kids sewing pattern company up to a kid's size 12. And they have really modern style designs, and they also have soft dolls, which I have used for my daughter's Christmas gift. Okay, next is Apostrophe Patterns. If you know what apostrophe is, then you know what they're all about. But if you don't, they are revolutionizing the sewing pattern world. They take your measurements, so you put in your exact body measurements, and they spit out a very totally custom, one-of-a-kind sewing pattern just for your body. And when you buy it, you get access to it for life. So you can make your daughter's doll a t-shirt or your husband a t-shirt from the same pattern that you buy. They have a handful of patterns, and they're always working on getting more. I have heard mixed reviews about them, but overall I think it's really great, and it might take a few tries to get what you're looking for, you know, keeping in mind ease and that and all of that fun stuff, but they do have a really supportive Facebook group as well, so check them out. Next up is Buttons and Bibs. They offer some really popular designs. They cater to kids and adults, and actually they are the largest size range on our list with a 73-inch hip. And they also launched a fabric line, so if that's something you're into, check them out. Alright, Pollywoggles, also called Ontario home. They have a cute little story about the background of the name. If you're interested in that, go check out their website. And as you might have guessed, they are a kids sewing pattern company offering PDF patterns up to size 12. They also have some really fun applique designs if you're into that. And the next pattern on the list seems to be inactive, but I'm gonna mention it anyway, and that is Poppy Monroe. It looks like they only have 2 patterns, and there's not really a lot going on there, but if you're interested, check them out anyway. They have a couple things there for kids. Moving on to Quebec. These might be my favorite province for sewing patterns. I don't really know. I haven't tried them all yet. First up, we have Jaylee. And Jaylee might be one of the original indie pattern designers. I'm not really sure, but they started in 1983. And their story is really interesting as well, so I encourage you to check that out. But it is a mother-daughter team, and they make PDF and print patterns for the entire family up to a 54-inch hip. And they have so many designs. You could spend a day looking through all their patterns. Okay, one that you might already know, Closet Core. They are also home to Quebec, and they offer PDF and print patterns for women up to a 63-inch hip. And their designs are kind of like, I like to say that they're a twist on classics, and they also have kits and some different notions and classes on their website as well. Alright, getting to the end here. Studio Calico / Comatia, I hope I'm saying that right. They offer PDF patterns for women up to a 41-inch hip. And I think their designs are really avant-garde. So if you're looking for something that's going to have you stand out, set you apart from the group, maybe now that you're entering the real world again, check out this pattern company. All right, next up is more of a fabric shop, but they also have a couple kids patterns, and that is Non Non Oui. And they offer, like I said, a few kids patterns up to size 12. And that's it, as far as I know, for Canadian pattern designers. However, I think I was informed correctly that the designer for Ellie and Mac, Lindsay Essery, I believe she lives on the east coast of Canada now. I could not find any information to confirm that, but somebody told me that, and now I gotta know. So leave me a comment if you know, and also let me know if I missed any garment pattern companies I want to add to this list, and I will make it available for you and have it linked down in the description box as like a living Google Doc kind of thing. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if it was helpful or entertaining for you, and subscribe to my channel so I can see you in the next video. Bye!